but I wanted to come. Last week I talked about a little bit about personal injury cases, particularly auto accident cases, which is a significant part of my practice. The other part of my practice that I spend a good amount of time, maybe not half, but probably half my time working on, is workers' compensation cases. And work comp is probably, of all the things that I do, the most misunderstood area of practice. I don't think a lot of people really understand what work comp tries to be and what it is and how it works and how it relates to people. So I wanted to come on here and chat about it. It might seem like a little bit of a dry topic, but it's really important, particularly for people who get hurt on the job. And it's also, I think, important for businesses to be able to manage the risk of people being injured at work. So what is work comp? Work comp is, workers' compensation is organized in Kansas under the Workers' Compensation Act. It all goes through the Department of Labor, and it's a system designed to have some trade-offs. So you trade off an injured worker, trades off his right to sue his employer in civil court for that employer's negligence if he's injured, for the right to pursue a workers' compensation claim with the Department of Labor if he's injured at all at work. So it removes the negligent or fault-based requirement for recovery and replaces that with it's not quite no fault, but essentially a no fault recovery system. And it reduces the benefits as a result of that. So it spreads the benefits through a wider population. All workers are entitled to workers' compensation benefits in Kansas. Why would we do that as a policy decision? Well, it's because, one, you want workers to be able to have a system to get treated and recovered and back to work. And you want to mitigate the risk of having a large lawsuit wipe out a business all at once. So that it is a trade-off. There are individual situations that I see where I'm like, man, I'm not sure that this is a good trade-off. And we're constantly tweaking the system for better or for worse. And there was a huge change in 2011 where they essentially reduced the benefits. They put some defenses in. And there was another big change in 2015, which reduced the benefits by changing the American Medical Association guides that you measured impairment from. So it's a flawed system, but there are some good things about it. There are some negative things about it. But what I constantly run into is how the law applies to a specific worker's situation can be hugely overwhelming to a worker, who's already dealing with a significant injury. And then, his employer's wondering when he can get back to work. You got an insurance adjuster who's trying to manage his situation, but their job in some instances is to see whether it's a compensable claim, which means if they can deny it, they will. And those are the ones that end up coming into my door, right? And navigating this situation gets really complicated, and it's really my privilege to help people work through the system and put them in the best possible position, which is almost always getting them back to work, if that's possible. If they can't, then you go through a work disability analysis. I really do love helping people and helping them get through an injury, get back to work, and back on with their life so that they can provide for their family. And that's what we're all about. There's a lot of misunderstandings about the law. An auto accident, people kind of get that. If someone's at fault in an auto accident, their insurance pays it. That's the crux of that. Work comp is a different system. There's prevailing factor rules. There's certain defenses employers have in certain circumstances, and it's all statutorily driven. So anyway, Shoot me a message if you have any questions about work comp. I like talking about it.